I guess if I had to divide the food, I'd divide it by the three main cultures that we dealt with, right? The white people, the Maori people, and the islanders. White people, probably the biggest food would be that you'd want to know is fish and chips, right? And by chips, I don't mean like potato chips. I mean basically French fries, but kind of thick French fries, right? And there's kind of deep fried battered fish. And you go to your local fish and chip shop and you order that, and they'll give you a couple battered fish and your scoop of chips and salt it up, and then they'll wrap it up in some paper, and then they'll wrap that up in some newspaper. Then you can take that, eat it. I was always kind of like glance at the news while I was munching on my fish and chips. You'll learn to like that. You're probably going to have a lot of that. Apart from that, the white people food in New Zealand is more or less what you'd expect from a kind of American or English background. It's pretty typical. The national dessert is the pavlova, which is kind of this interesting, flaky dessert pastry, but it's not super amazing, and there's nothing you're missing if you don't have lots of them. Ice cream is better. Moving on to the next group, I'd say the Maoris. Probably their best known dish is a boil up, which is they take, it's what it sounds like. You just take whatever you have lying around and boil it up. Usually that's going to involve pork bones, watercress, and maybe a couple other things. And it's kind of like this stew. It's pretty good if you get a good one. I know a couple people who have had, a couple missionaries who had bad experiences with a boil up gone bad and had a little intestinal distress the next day, but that's not really anything I'd worry about. And then the last big group is the islanders, right? The Tongan Samoans. And the main thing to note with them is not so much what you'll be eating, but how much you'll be eating, because you'll be eating a lot. In my experience, especially the members, the Tongan and Samoan members, the more you eat, or the more the missionaries eat, the more the island members respect them, because, I don't know, eating is just something you're meant to do. It's just kind of cultural, right? So you're going to take this big heaping plate and you're going to eat all of it, and you're going to be stuffed. And then the member's going to say, "Elder, don't be shy, have some more food." And then you're going to have some more food because you can't just say no. So I've been in a lot of situations where I was at like a big islander wedding feast and had so much that I didn't need to eat for like the next day or two. I really miss those times. When you get such a meal, you really got to appreciate it. You'll love it. Apart from that, the missionaries' favorite food, definitely KFC. It's because it's also the islanders' favorite food, right? They're thinking of changing the name to PFC, Polynesian First Choice, instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, good memories of that place.